Okay, slide 3. It requires nurses to undertake an ongoing process of self-reflection and cultural self-awareness. More things you can't possibly objectively measure. And an acknowledgement of how their personal culture impacts on care. In relation to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander health, cultural safety provides a decolonising model of practice. Here comes the left-wing neo-Marxist identity politics view of the world, based on dialogue, communication, power sharing and negotiation, and, oh, here's the kicker, and the acknowledgement of white privilege. When did we decide white privilege was an official thing that goes into, I didn't know that nurses had to acknowledge their white privilege, not just to themselves, but to the patient.
Yeah, well, that's what it says. And if you don't do it, it simply means that the regulatory authority has total control over practitioners. Nurses are subject to the total subjective whim of AHPRA, or whatever it's going to be, its replacement federal body. It'll be even worse then.
Graeme, how do you not get disillusioned and upset? I mean, like, just want to give up? I mean, we seem to be so far down the rabbit hole of manipulation and control by left-wing bureaucratic forces in this country that you can't move. You can't do anything without the potential for somebody to just kind of pull the rug from under you.
Well, this is 5 years ago. I saw this, actually one of our members picked it up, and it was interesting. They had a big spiel, I don't think it's on the website now, of how they introduced this, and it was all sort of ushered in by the nurse unions. And he analysed the way they had described it, and it was bureaucratic double, triple speak. And he said, and he gave the numbers and he broke it down, as few as 250 people in Australia actually went through the authorisation process of this new change. It looks like there were, it was all put to nurses and they all had a look at it and all said, this is a wonderful idea. In actual fact, they didn't do any of that. They set up a quite complicated process, which looks like lots of people were being involved, but they actually bloody weren't. So that's how they do it. Florence Nightingale, who was a remarkably wordy woman, by the way.
Was she?
Very wordy. Her principal code of conduct and code of ethics for nurses, which she wrote, is just a bit over half a page, A4.
Right.
And I reckon it could be written in half the number of words.